Hello and welcome to another episode of On the Floors with Wayne and Rob. I'm Wayne Highlander, National Sales Manager for Bona Adhesives.
And I'm Rob Johnson, runner-up for Floor of the Year.
Oh, congratulations, Rob.
I think we got to
Hey.
mention it. We got to mention Floor of the Year for you every show.
Wow.
I think.
Speaking of that, first of all, Rob, what is the topic of our podcast today?
Counter guys, the
Counter
unsung
guys.
hero of the wood floor industry.
Good deal.
But they're a lot more than counter guys. We're going to refer to them today as inside sales and logistics.
Absolutely. So cool. All right, I'm looking forward to that. But first, I'm in San Diego now, and for the last couple of days, and I'm late for this podcast. I was supposed to start an hour ago, so I do apologize.
It's whirlwind, crazy whirlwind of traffic out there, huh?
Traffic, man, for the last 3 hours between LA and San Diego, and it was brutal, man. So, but I'm here.
How you feel? You all calm down now?
Yep, absolutely calm down. I'm very comfortable and ready to go.
Where are you?
I'm in a hotel downtown
And
San
you're
Diego.
comfortable? You're comfortable?
Absolutely.
You said you're
Yeah,
comfortable.
I'm very comfortable. Look at me.
You're in your underwear, aren't you?
I didn't say that. I said I was comfortable.
Yeah, I know. But I know what comfortable means for you.
Yeah. Well,
You're in your skivvies, aren't you?
come on. I'm here and I'm ready to go, and I'm nice and cool. It's
Boy,
hot here,
you know what? You could do this show in your underwear. Eyes
Yeah.
closed in your underwear.
I'm not disclosing that at all.
Yeah.
I just said I'm comfortable.
Boy.
Hey, listen, I was at the NWFA last week and had such a good time, and met so many great customers and friends and what have you. I just have to say, you know what? The attendance was a little bit lighter than normal, which we expected. I mean, that's no surprise to anybody. But I have to call it a great success for the NWFA. Had a great time. Everybody was in a good mood. Everybody was optimistic about the year coming up, and everybody stayed at the booth longer than normal. I had so many people ask about you, Rob, and the show, which we thank you guys for that. It was had some really funny, good conversations. So
how many people want to replace me? That's what I want to know. You probably had a lot of those.
Yeah. I was the only one that ever brought that up. None of the customers did. If anybody had a good rap, if they left, I thought, oh yeah, that might work.
Hey, there you go.
I got a list of 25 people.
Keep track of that guy.
Yeah. You know what was noticeably missing, Rob? I mean, noticeably missing at the NWFA for me was Canadian contractors. It struck me while I was there that, the Canadians always come down for NWFA. They're always there. They travel all the time, all the events and everything, so many of them. And they're a great bunch of guys. And because of COVID and lockdowns, we really didn't see hardly any Canadian contractors. And you know what? I missed them, damn it.
Well, the border's closed.
Yeah, I know.
The border's closed. I mean, as far as training goes, we've had to postpone. I think we're looking at like a half a dozen schools between Toronto and Calgary. It's horrible. I mean, like you said, we love our brothers and sisters to the north, and you and I are constantly getting texts and emails from them, and it's I do miss going to Toronto, doing my schools up there.
Yeah,
great people. Always a blast to.
You know what that means for us, though. What I hope that means is next year the NWFA was in, and everybody kept saying, "Oh, this year it's in Orlando. It's going to be hot." It was wonderful. The weather was great. It wasn't too hot at all, and it was overcast, whatever. But for a ginger like me, that's perfectly fine. But what I hope that means is the NWFA next year is in Tampa. And for every guy that I saw there, I went, oh yeah, great to see him, man. There was another guy that didn't get to make it down this year. And so I hope that we all get together in Tampa and just knock it out of the park, man. Like have a massive celebration for ourselves and our industry at the NWFA down in Tampa. I hope that one thing I kind of missed this year is I didn't really, or maybe it's just me. You know, as you get older, you don't get invited to the cool parties anymore. But it'd be nice to find a couple bars that everybody could go to and congregate in and have a good time, man. So next year, I'm looking for everybody to come down and just have a fantastic time, man. So
I think I still think we're in a COVID transition year.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why maybe the numbers were a little off, and like you said, what a great opportunity it would be to get together with everybody and have a couple of beers
Yeah.
in a large room. But people just aren't doing that yet. Still,
Yep.
unless
And
you're on a
also,
plane. Unless you're on
yeah,
a plane, baby,
yeah.
they're packing them in like sardines.
Oh
Don't
yeah.
worry about it though.
But the party thing might have been my issue. Yeah, now as I've gotten older and in this job, as you know, Rob, I've got more responsibilities. My evenings were spent on the computer more than hanging out with guys. But had a great time, man. I do every time. I will never not look forward to the NWFA convention every year. It is my all-time favorite time. Walking down the hall and seeing, all these people that is a great time, man. Great time. So I hope everybody makes it out next year. I hope somehow we make next year like the biggest year of all time. That's my wish for the NWFA. Okay, there we go. Counter guys, Rob.
Let me ask you a question. Did you get to walk across the stage?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Atta
Something?
boy.
I don't get
That's
butterflies.
it.
I don't get butterflies anymore, man. I don't. But before I go out on Rob, I've been out on so many stages now at this point in my life.
Oh, I
Uh,
know. Yeah,
you can imagine
it's
the
old
multitude.
hat.
Yeah, but I got butterflies at this one, man. It's something that for me anyhow that you were hope to get for a long time, and to finally get it, man, was cool. And to be backstage with the other guys that were getting it, a lot of first time guys getting their floor of the year trophies was pretty cool. I was excited for them, man. So yeah,
Suit and tie?
no, not for me. Not for any. One gentleman had a suit and tie on. Um, uh, but pretty laid back for the most part. I got to see Michael Dittmer back there. We got to spend some time with him, which is cool. So yeah, good time, man. Really good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's great.
So this show is on Counter Guys, and you and I have worn many hats in our illustrious careers in this industry, Rob. From holding the cord, sweeping out closets, puttying closets, the corners, scraping corners, working your way up to the edger, learning how to roll the cord up the proper way, right? Loading the vans
yeah.
on the before we even sniff the big machine. Finally to the big machine, then on to becoming a journeyman and then a contractor, and we've worn many hats, right? And
Mm-hmm.
both of us is sat behind that counter, so we know a little bit about this. And I've said I will be quite honest with you that I think I've done a really good job in my career at a lot of things. I think I was a good floor man. I think I think I was a good sales rep. I think I'm good at my job right now. And I was not good behind the counter. That job was tougher than I thought it was. And albeit I only did it for a year. So there's a learning curve there. That job is way harder than it looks like. And they are as you said, the unsung heroes of our industry. So let's talk about that.
Well, right off the bat, like we said at the opening of the show, they're so much more than a counter guy. And that's why I think from now on, we're going to refer to them as inside sales and logistics, because that is a lot of what they do. And the other thing, too, I want to hit on in this show is there's so many other people behind the scenes. The guys in the warehouse picking orders, guys driving forklifts. I used to work for a company when I had my counter guy stint or inside sales. I worked for a company called Hoboken. Probably a lot of guys out there remember the old Hoboken. And I think one of the funniest thing is when they would say we need to hire a driver, and they put a ad in the paper for driver. And I was like, driver?
Not a driver.
They're not drivers. That's
No.
that's like the vacation part of their day is driving.
Yeah.
These guys, some of these guys leave with these giant trucks. You know how, it's like all the wood floor people have that same size truck. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Hmm.
It's just a little smaller than a semi.
Yeah.
And they leave with it full of wood. And sometimes these guys would leave the shop by themselves and they had to unload by hand
Yeah.
every stick of that wood. So I used to laugh like hell when we got to put an ad in the paper for a driver. Like,
Yeah.
driver?
Yeah.
That's the last thing.
The least of it.
That's the least of it, what they're
Yeah.
going to do.
Loading
So,
those loading those trucks up at 5 in the morning, some of them out in the snow and the rain and using the curtains on the truck and 20
oh
pounds
my
of adhesive.
God.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. And it's like, and put this many on the second floor, this many bundles on the first floor, in this room and that room. And they do it.
And
That's
even
what always amazed me. They do it.
even stacking the truck in a way that makes sense, that in the order of your deliveries, you know what I mean? Because you're not going to have a forklift, so you got to put this wood over here on the second on this side of the truck and make it all make sense. And man, it's the and go out in that traffic and you got guys calling you, where's it at? Where's it at? So
It
and
was to me, and I like you said, it was a lot tougher than you thought it was going to be. I remember thinking, oh, it's just going to be hanging out, BSing with guys and drinking coffee.
Mhm.
And for me, not sure about you, but for me, it was the first time that I had ever had to work with a computer, ever. We didn't even have a computer at home when this was back in the late '90s when I was working at Hoboken in the pro shop.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, I came home probably the second day of work, and I'm having dinner with Pauline, and she's like, "So, how's it going?" And I said, I don't think I'm going to make it.
Yeah.
I don't think I can do this job. I really don't." And she's looking at me like, "You're kidding me." I go, "No, this is the absolute hardest thing. I will never figure out how to do this computer stuff ever.
Did floors your whole life.
All of my life, right?
Mhm.
I'm scared of nothing."
Yeah.
That first, I would say 2 or 3 weeks, I tell you, every day I was leaving going, well, that's it. This is my last day.
Yeah.
They're
Believe
going to
me.
let me go so fast here that, if I rung up another scraper blade for $82,000,
Yeah.
they're just going to finally get rid of me.
It's the first time I learned about what the word allocation means, because I had a guy called me and he was looking for, I'll never forget it. He was looking for 5 gallons of anti-slip traffic. And so it says, we don't have any. I go out in the warehouse, I see 3 cases. I go, well, stupid computers. I mean, it's right there. I call the guy up. I go, hey, we actually have it, man. Come on down. He goes,
Oh,
fantastic. Comes on down, buys his 5 gallons of traffic anti-slip. I ring it up, probably incorrectly. But then about, I don't know, an hour later, the guy next to me goes, where's my traffic the traffic anti-slip at? I said, what traffic anti-slip? He goes, well, I had 5. I said, yeah, I sold it to the other guy. He goes, well, it was allocated for this other guy. I go, well, it was in the warehouse. He goes, oh my God. I screwed that guy up completely, man. And I would go out in the warehouse from time to time and start punching stuff, because I mean, and it was going so fast. I mean, it was a time in the industry that these guys were buying a lot of different distributors at one time, and we were slammed all the time. And the amount of multitasking that those guys do, you know what I mean, from the phones to allocating different stuff for different people, and the all the trim work they had to keep track of, and all the orders, and oh man, it is way more. And I will never not appreciate the guy behind the counter because of that job. I mean, when I see them, I know the knowledge that they have, just like a journeyman running an edger and running a big machine and putting finish on. These guys are that good in what they do, guys and gals. One of the best I ever seen was up in Canada. Can't remember her name, but man, she was fantastic, or is fantastic. So much bigger job. And I imagine, Rob, working behind the counter, there's some pet peeves and some things that could make their life easier and our lives easier. And maybe you can kind of go through, especially you've had more experience than me, some of those things. How can you help out the counter person? You got an inside sales guy that you work with all the time and what have you, see him all the time. Well, how can you make this person's life easier?
Well, let's not only our experience, you and I behind the counter, but I talked to some counter guys, inside sales reps, logistic guys. Just wanted to get some feedback from them, and it was the same stuff that was happening when you and I were going, had our stint at it. How long did you do it? A year?
A year to the day. I had a non-compete clause, so I can tell you it was a year to the day. Yes.
Not as easy as it looked, is it?
No.
Mm-mm.
Towards the end of that year, I was starting to, getting the hang of it, and feeling more confident and everything, but I still had miles to go to be really good at the job. I mean, to really dial it in, I had a long way to go still. So that was an eye opener for me. Yeah.
All right. So we talked to them about their pet peeves. And of course, their number one pet peeve is lack of planning. And this is going to ring true with so many things that we're going to talk about, so many bullets that we're going to hit. But the first one right off the bat was lack of planning. Just like what you said before about traffic anti-slip. That guy needed it. Nobody knew about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was one of their biggest pet peeves.
Yeah.
Was the contractors' lack of planning and just, kind of giving them a heads up.
So you're saying that if it's a product that is not a commonly, stocked product as some others, that that may not be something that they sell a ton of or turn a lot of it over, that if you're going to order a specialty type product like that, you give them a lot of notice. Is that what you're saying?
Not even a lot of notice. Some sort of notice.
Yeah. Okay.
Not that morning.
Yeah.
Not that morning. That's not enough notice. You close at 4. I'll be there at 3:55 to pick it up. You get a day to get it.
Oh man,
that's not the kind of planning I'm talking about.
You just said something else too. If a distributor closes at 4:00, that guy, his brain has been going all day long, probably before he got to work, and he's all day long he's taking orders, he's doing all these different things, he's checking in inventory, which we haven't even talked about. They're doing all different types of things. They're dealing with sales reps that come in and talk to them, a million different things. And if they close at 4:00, you can imagine yourself, if someone comes in at 3:57 and starts, placing an order that won't end till 4:45. After that guy's, been there all day long. That's asking a lot, right? Not that they don't appreciate it. I mean, I don't know about you, but the guys I talk to, they love their customers too, man. But I think this will just be kind of common courtesy.
Exactly. Another one of their pet peeves: pre-finished moldings. Pre-finished moldings. You're ordering a pre-finished job. Either order the moldings when you order the flooring. Too many guys don't do that. Or like Pete and I used to start doing, we just started making our own molding.
Yeah.
Rather than waiting on, because I don't know, I don't know how many times you heard it, but I don't know how many times I heard it was, you guys are sitting on a piece of $40 baby threshold and it's costing me $9,000.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're not, the distributor isn't sitting on that.
Yeah.
It's just, if you had placed that order, it would have come in with you know the whole deal with that.
I would,
And I know that there's some companies out there that are making a living on doing pre-finished molding. A guy used to work with the basic coatings. He started a company out in California where that's what he does. Custom moldings just for that emergency type guy.
yeah. They're the bane of the industry, by the way. I bet every distributor, if they could get one headache, it would be moldings.
Yeah.
I mean, every one of them's got a bay a mile long of odds and ends that either someone ordered and didn't pick up, or was the wrong match, or they brought it in but the grain wasn't right and everything, and it's caused nothing but headaches, and they got inventory all that crap, and it caused an inventory mess. So yeah, that's a tough one.
Another one, sending in homeowners without a heads up. You know, not all distributors do this, but actually a lot of distributors around where I live, they'll tell the contractor, hey, send your homeowner in and, you know, to our showroom and we'll
Yeah,
help them pick out the floor. But the issue that they run into is sometimes they don't give the heads up.
yeah,
And as long as you give that your guy in the distributorship a heads up, hey, I'm sending a homeowner in, you know, keep them around the white oak or keep them around the 4-inch, or you know what I mean? That's what they were
yeah.
looking for. You got to give them a heads up. You got to help them out a little bit so they can, you know, they know what direction to guide people, so people don't walk out buying LVP.
Well, the other thing too is if you got two guys at the counter, and a homeowner comes in at 8:40 in the morning when things are humping, and you got to get out of that seat and go out to the showroom and deal with that one person while in the heat of the morning when things are booming. That takes that guy out of there being productive to his bread and butter customers for a long time, and now he's inherited the headache. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a lot of distributors feel differently about how they handle homeowners coming in and what have you. But I can tell you firsthand that was sometimes a nightmare. Yeah,
Well, I think this is another bullet. We had already touched on it, but I'll say it again. That last minute end of day or end of week requests.
yeah,
It's
right.
Friday.
Yeah,
It's Friday, 4:45, closing at 5 o'clock. But you know what? When I was a contractor, I was guilty of that too. I think if I was a horrible planner, I will admit it, I was a horrible planner. And I don't know how many guys, and I know guys still do this to this day. I don't know if we should say this, but you know, how many times did you call your distributor and say, "Do me a favor, I'm
don't
not
finish
going to
that.
make it.
Don't
I'm
finish
not
that
going to
sentence. Hang on, hang on. I know what you're going to say. Put it out by the dumpster.
put it out by the
Put
dumpster,
it out by the bag.
put it under the bushes."
Yes. Yeah.
Every distributor, I think, has a little hiding spot where every
Yes.
floor guy can go and find their little Easter eggs.
Yep. 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 Did the same thing.
And
Hey.
and and man, if that wasn't like the best thing in the world for me,
Yes.
like, oh man, I just needed another 5 of poly. I thought I'd have enough, and can you
Yeah.
just put it out under the bushes? I'll pick it up on my way home or whatever.
And they're usually great about that, man. We did the same thing. Hey, man, do me a favor. Can you hide it around the corner there? We're a roll short of building paper, and we'll pick it up. And those counter guys can make your day for that. But you know what? It took me till I got out of the where I could stand back and look at it from a bigger, broader scope. Is that maybe as much as we had good relationships with them, but maybe we didn't say thank you enough. You know what I mean? Maybe we didn't appreciate that enough. Look at it from their perspective. So a thank you once in a while goes miles, and you know what I mean. Especially someone that goes above and beyond for you. You see them every morning, man. Bring them donuts sometimes, or bring them something, or shake their hand and thank them. I know a lot of guys do, but who doesn't want an attaboy now and then, right? I
Oh
mean,
my God,
everybody
yeah,
likes to be
yeah.
acknowledged for something that. Who was I talking to someone the other day? Way above and beyond for contractor and got zip out of it, like way up, like drove miles there to drop something off on a Saturday, and the person never even really just like he almost expected it. So I think it goes miles for anybody that in that position. If you can just say thank you, shake their hand, appreciate it, man. Every once in a while, maybe do something for them. That be kind of cool, man, because they're every bit of important part of this industry. You said the unsung heroes of this industry, right? So I think that'd be pretty cool.
Oh my God. Yeah. Unbelievable. Now,
Yeah.
and another one of their pet peeves is when somebody gets pissed because they don't have something.
Yeah.
And, they don't have something. Well, you haven't ordered that in 9 years, or you've never ordered that before.
Yeah.
And they're furious that you don't have it.
Yeah. The other thing too is a lot of contractors. I mean, will come to the counter guys for a lot of information. Which way should I go? I mean, they sell 1,000 products down there. I don't know. That's the other thing. There's so many products that they sell. Is how do you keep track of it all and have knowledge about every one of these products that are out there? So they've got to, they are always trying to educate themselves too. They come in, they do product knowledge days where they, reps will come in and talk to them about their products so they can talk about them, and know what they're talking about. And they spend a lot of time doing that. So, distributors are a hugely important role in this industry, and gosh, we'd be lost without them. I mean, it's. I think back to all the times they've saved me just because I had a good relationship with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And or gave me a heads up. Hey, Wayne, just so you know, such and such is going to be out. We're going to be out pretty soon. If you're going to need something, better order it now. You know what I mean? Type of deal.
Right.
So looking out for you. So, yeah, man. I mean,
and too many times, I think too many times people attack something like a distributor with a broadsword, like, oh, the middleman is the worst thing in the world. Well, no, it's not. Okay. It is not. I'll tell you a quick story. I won't use company names or anything, but I had a huge contractor that I knew sooner or later was going to say to me, we're so and so, and we think we should be buying direct.
Mhm.
And I knew the conversation was going to happen. And I had as a sales guy, it's back when I was in sales, I really had no idea because I didn't want to lose the customer,
Yeah.
But so finally the meeting comes. Big table, 8 guys on their side, me on the other. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, we like this, and this has been working out great. He goes, but, we are so-and-so when we're going to need to buy direct. And I looked at the guy and I said, well, if you want high pricing and bad service, I'm your guy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And this was a Friday afternoon, right?
Yeah.
Early Friday afternoon. And he looked at me and he goes, what? What did you just say?
Yeah.
I said, if you want high prices and bad service, yeah, I'm definitely your guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, what the F do you mean by that? I go, look, we're manufacturers, okay? We're good at making this stuff.
Yeah.
I said, but if you think that I have this stuff sitting up in my garage and you call me on a Friday afternoon and say, hey, I need 2 gallons of this, I'm going fishing. I'm not bringing you in. I don't have this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. He goes, oh, okay, I get that, but why the high prices? What are you talking about? I go, well, we have distributors that spend millions of dollars with us. Why would I give you the same price we're giving them?
Yeah.
And actually, as I was talking it out with the guy, I thought to myself, that's really when distribution really hit how important distribution is to our business. Bona is not going to be good at servicing individual customers.
Mm-hmm.
As much as people want, I want to buy direct, we're not geared for that. Most manufacturers aren't geared for that. And that's why distributors are so important in the industry. And, so many times you get this bad name of being, oh, it's a middleman. I want to buy direct. Well, hell, the middleman is what you're paying for.
Yeah.
They're,
logistically, it's huge to be able to have a place that stocks all these different things that you need. Because I mean, yes, on one job, whatever, here and there, but I mean, you look at a year's time, how many different products you're going to have to go through, and how many different manufacturers you're going to have to deal with. I mean, logistically alone, they're massive help for contractors. So, and partnering with a good distributor, um, their sales reps, their outside sales rep, as long as well as their inside sales reps, the value that they bring is just over the years is just absolutely fantastic. I mean, you can't say enough about them. The knowledge that they bring and the service that they bring and have to be able to deliver to you and all these different things. This you add it up over your year's time. I mean, holy smokes, man, it's invaluable,
Yeah.
especially with labor shortages that we have now. Even more so, I think the distributor, it plays a more important role. That that you can go there and get everything you need. That you can have it delivered, perhaps to your job site. And man, and that's the other thing. Another pet peeve is when you're delivering parts and the guy is supposed to meet you at 9 o'clock at a certain place, and he's a no show, and that then you're expected to hump everything up to the second floor. Every distributor handles this differently, but I can tell you how I handled it. I wasn't very happy about it, man. You know what I mean? And on the flip side of that, when I was a contractor, we used to take care of the drivers. I mean, they show up with 4 pallets of wood on a job. They're humping that in and then what have you. I mean, we take care of those guys in the form of a tip or something to take care of them because it's a lot of work and it's appreciated what they do. So, not to mention, here's the other thing too. The same thing with the mechanics that are working on the machines. Holy smokes! Can't put a price on that, man. I mean, you're down a machine, that's your livelihood. And to have all them parts in that back of that warehouse, they've got to stock thousands of parts, which there's a lot of money tied up in sitting in there, right? So and having someone that can have the parts and then fix the machines and everything, man, is just absolutely fantastic. So yeah. So I thought you and I talked about this, Al. They are the unsung heroes, and I don't think they get the credit that they deserve a lot of times. And that's how much we appreciate them. And um, so, if you run into them and you might give them a shout out and just and I know a lot of guys do anyhow, but you can't say, "Hey, thanks a lot," enough, right? To someone
No.
that you like and has been helping your business and everything. I think it's important. So
Well, another question that we asked him was, what would they like their customers to know about their job that the contractor really doesn't know about
yeah,
their job? And this one I had to take on my own experience was how many times that guy, your inside sales guy, goes to bat for you with management.
hmm
And
yeah,
they're almost like the buffer, because you have usually a bean counter or something, and some office lane, no, he doesn't get it. And that guy, I remember a couple times me going to the bean counter saying, "Look, I know this guy's good for it. Okay,
yeah.
he's got a huge job. He's turning the corner here.
hmm
Let this order go. He's gonna, figure it. We'll finagle a little financing, give us this, and you know what I mean."
Yeah,
Rather than just saying, "Well, sorry,
yeah.
the office said no." And I don't think that a lot of guys understand sometimes how that your inside guy, really goes to bat for you sometimes with management.
So Rob Johnson suggested that I come to you because I'm getting ready to turn the corner, and I really need you to get this $20,000 order for me. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
rob.johnson@bona.com. But you're,
Just leave the edger here. Leave the edger and your first kid. And
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. No, but point well taken. All the way around, I've had, and man, I won't, I can't name the branches, but I go into some branches where you go, holy smokes, these guys are good. I mean, these guys are like a like a Swiss clock. they're dialed in. You see at 5 o'clock in the morning, they're already humping stuff, getting the orders ready to go. They're getting the trucks organized. Their guys are coming in. They got coffee made on the counter. The lights are on, the heater's on, and these guys are already in full gear at 5 in the morning. They're humping, man.
Exactly. I mean, we roll out of bed, jump in the truck, and drive there. They're open and
they're
ready.
there. Yeah,
They're there. They're ready
yeah,
to go.
yeah,
So, yeah, yeah, they were there a lot earlier than I got out of bed.
yeah,
Another thing that people don't realize about their job, they don't realize, some guys just don't realize how long it takes to track something down, get it delivered in, have it for them. They just don't realize that, you know, it's not Amazon. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Where you order something and it's there in 2 days.
yeah,
I don't think Amazon could do what distributors do.
yeah. Oh my gosh! Funny you say it. I remember now. Now that you bring that up, where a guy would order pre-finished floor and call me up at in the morning. Where's the pre-finished floor? And maybe it's the manufacturer that doesn't have it in. Maybe it's a hiccup on their end. You know what I mean? Maybe a delivering company screwed up on their end. And then I get the call at 9 o'clock. Then I get the call at 1 o'clock. Where's it at? Then I get the call at 3 o'clock. You know what I mean? And screaming at me, where's the order at? When it's downstream, a lot of other things have happened. But the guy on the counter is the guy that they talk to, and they sometimes they get everybody vents to them. You know what I mean?
Oh
And
yeah.
they're just trying to do the best they can with what they have, and so that comes with the territory.
And that's what I meant about that guy being a buffer, because he's getting vented on from the contractor, but he's also getting vented on by management.
Yeah,
He's you know what I mean? He is
yeah,
the real buffer.
yeah. No, all really good points, man.
We go back to these little insignificant part, and I think a lot of guys sometimes would get upset that, oh, you're a Bona distributor. Why don't you have, Brazilian cherry filler and quartz?
Yeah,
You're a Bona distributor. And what I don't think, and what I don't think contractors realize, is everything that you see in somebody's warehouse usually had to be paid for within 30 days or under 30
yeah,
days.
yeah,
We don't live in a big consignment world here in the wood floor industry.
hmm
Everything that you see, machines, paper, everything has to be paid for. And sometimes I don't think guys would get that.
yeah.
When
All
they'd be screaming about, oh, you don't have this, you don't have that. I'm like, oh, we're trying.
yeah,
We try.
all they have on themselves. That's like real estate. Everything there has to make money. It has to earn itself into that location so it can turn and make a profit for the. And you're right. These thousands of parts or hundreds of parts or items that rarely turn over, but they have to have them in case somebody happens to come along and needs a spring for the inside of a buffer or something. All cost them money. And man, and honestly, there's no great big huge line of people waiting to become a hardwood floor distributor. It's it's a tough job. You know what I mean? It's a really difficult job. I don't know. I think it is good to talk about because like I said, they're a massive part of this industry. It would be complete chaos without them. This year, they're probably getting hit a little harder than normal they are because of COVID and the shipping delays and everything. They're on the front lines. They're doing what they can to bring in orders and bring in material and bring in stuff, and they're getting it handed to them because the manufacturers are hurting right now. So I thought we thought it would be a good kind of topic and to talk about. So there you go, Rob.
Well, let's talk about how we can make their lives easier.
Okay.
And really, the question shouldn't be how can we make the distributor's life easier? It's how can we make all of our lives easier, contractors and distributors. And it's really simple, I think. Just planning. Go in, sit down with your guy once a month and let them know what's going on.
Yeah.
But be specific. Everything, species, stain colors, sealers that you're going to need, traffic anti-slip. That's a perfect one.
Yeah.
We're really talking that up so much at the schools now that it's really starting to take off. So these are the things, species, widths, because you just can't have everything in stock. So as long as you're going in there once a month, sitting down with your guy and saying, just laying it out, saying, here's what's coming up this month. This is the vicinity that I need to be in here,
Yeah.
just so you're not laying any surprises on.
Yep. Yep. No, all good points.
Another thing we asked them was, what do they love about the job? One of the big ones that I heard was they love selling that homeowner. They love being part of helping that contractor make a sale.
Yeah.
They love being a part of the contractor success stories. It's a good feeling.
Yeah.
You remember that, or do you?
Yeah.
Did you ever get to help anybody, or
No, it
were you
was all
just a
about me.
disaster?
I was a disaster. Yeah. I helped the guy that needed the 5 gallons of traffic anti-slip that didn't think we had it. I was
Oh,
huge.
you were a star for him.
I was his hero. Yeah.
The other, I think the main thing that everybody, this was the same answer I got from everybody, was friendships and close relationships over the years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because let's admit it, I mean, a lot of times these distributors, and I know when I worked there and when I would go there as a contractor, when I worked there as inside sales, it was like a general store. It was like the old time general stores.
Mm-hmm.
You go in, have a cup of coffee, talk to the guy. He knew about your kid in Little League. You knew about his girl in dance. You know what I mean? It was a nice a nice break in the day. But the other thing
Yes.
too was you get your stuff, but they also knew what was going on in the industry. Would keep you up to date with stuff. I
Yes.
mean, the
With
old sitting around the pickle barrel.
with one caveat there. I mean, be aware that I can tell you this firsthand. Some guys will sit and talk to you forever. And in my mind, I got all these notes from these guys. I got to get it back to. I got to find out what this guy's order is. I got to order 400 square feet of 3, 5, and 7 for this guy. I haven't done that yet. I'm trying to find this time where I can get it. And this guy won't leave. You know what I mean? He's hanging out there. He's done for the day. He coated the floor at 11 o'clock. He's done. He can't go home yet, whatever. So he's talking to me, and I'm thinking, my God, won't this guy please shut up and go away so I can get my work done? So do keep that in mind. You know what I mean?
Shut up and go away.
Not that, but do keep that in mind that these guys have a job to do too. So, all right. Good stuff, Rob.
Well, let's finish it off with, and you had said it at the beginning of the show. We had said it at the middle of the show. Take care of these people. Take care of those warehouse guys. Take care of those drivers. Take care of your inside guy, holidays, birthdays, just for the hell of it. Take care of these guys, because I'll say one thing. I know we used to take care of all our people, that would help Pete and I out, and it came back to us tenfold.
Yeah.
It really did.
And I'm gonna look out for the guys that are green, that are young, and have only been doing it for a year. Be patient with those guys, because I feel their pain. So when a guy is learning, he makes mistakes, whatever. He's just starting out, and he's learning the ropes. Give him a little bit of room and a little compassion. That we all been there. We all had to start somewhere, and give that guy a little bit of a break. So, all right, good deal. I'm glad we got that out of our system. We've been wanting to talk about that for a while now. And,
Unsung heroes of the industry, man.
Yes, sir. Yep. Okay, there you go. And it's weird. I'm in a hotel room. I feel like I'm shouting, and I feel like I'm the people in both rooms are getting a free podcast episode they're probably not needing right now, because I can hear them talking. So they can probably hear me talking. So anyhow, this has been another episode of On the Floor with Wayne and Rob. And please do stay tuned for another episode.